edition of Tigers Roar with Jordy Hultberg. I'm Tommy Kreis and Jordy.
Summertime. And the living is easy.
Living is easy.
Whoever came up with that is so wrong.
No, we could say living is different in the summertime, especially for us guys that like to talk sports and for the people that like to watch sports and listen to sports. But it is what it is. We go through this all the time.
This is when we cover sports that we never really covered before. We're interested in soccer and tennis and golf, and there's been a lot of storylines covering all of those, but LSU shut down.
Basically, yeah. But no, and we're rolling on. I mean, this fall we'll roll into our 12th year with Tigers Roar, and of course we will have the Pelican Sports post-game show coming at you beginning on a Sunday night when LSU plays the Miami Hurricanes over in Arlington.
Speaking of Miami, who's this cat running around hanging up a sign outside of Tiger Stadium about Baton Lose? They call it, instead of Baton Rouge, you call them Baton Lose. Canes stirring it up.
The fans are stirring it up early.
It's early.
We got a long way to go. A lot of ground to cover. But
he had the Hurricane basketball jersey. He had the fatigue, khakis, and the white Oakleys. He looked just stereotypical.
He looked like one of the guys that got off the plane a few years back.
Man.
Huh? But anyway, as you said, not a lot happening with LSU at this point in time. Actually, there's a lot happening, but not on the surface.
Not on the field, not between the lines.
That everybody can see and talk about. Recruiting, you always have something story one way or the other because that really never stops. And the rest of all the coaches at LSU in all sports, they're doing their normal summer plans to get ready for the fall and or the spring.
Football is in a very heavy recruiting period that comes to an end shortly. Basketball starts up July 1 when they can go out for 3 weeks and scour the countryside. Paul Mainieri is going to be in North Carolina, South Carolina, Cuba with Team USA. Got a couple of players, 3 of them on that team. So this is, like Jack Nicklaus said, you can't win the U.S. Open on a Thursday and Friday, but you can lose it. You can't win an SEC championship in June and July, but you can lose it if you don't do the work.
Yeah, well, and all the teams know that, and all even Las Vegas and different CBSSports.com are coming out with over and under win totals and projections and this, that, and the other.
Yes.
I can remember, Jordy, and I'm sure you can remember this too. Years ago, you would get to around August the 5th or 6th, and all the magazines would hit the rack. Athlon, Street and Smith, Lindy, whatever they were. Boy, you and I, we'd all go get 2, 3, 4 of them, and, you couldn't wait to get info. Now, with the computers and the smartphones, and it's all out already, and we know everything.
I was so naive back then. I was like, man, LSU must be really good. Every magazine has an LSU player on the cover. And I didn't think about, they have a Georgia Bulldog in every Georgia book stand and all that stuff. But anyway, it's crazy.
Many years ago, to talk about the regional covers, or those many years ago, I bought a USA Today. It was when it was rather new to the world while I was in West Palm Beach, Florida, getting ready to get on a flight. I only buy a paper, I'll read it on the thing. And then I bought the paper, and I get to New Orleans, and I'm walking, and I see a sign with the USA Today, and I look, and I'm like, I must have bought the wrong. It was a different cover, same day, but I'm like, that's not the one I just bought 5 hours ago in West Palm, and I went, whoa. So anyway, but hey, we got several things we're going to cover for you tonight. We've got some LSU track and field, some honors that came that way. So we're going to take a look at the LSU football schedule as it comes up. Of course, media days will be around the corner. We got some New Orleans Saints stuff for you. A couple of guys going into the Hall of Fame.
Pierre
Super
Lance.
Bowl champs. Yep. So that's real good, pretty cool. And a few other things we'll have for you. We will have Mike Scarborough of TigerBait.com for a basic update. Of course, they'll have everything you need at TigerBait.com. You need to check that out. Football is basically around the corner. So let's get to a break and come back and take you through this week's edition of Tigers Roar on Pelican Sports TV. Stay with us.
Hello. Hola. 你好.
Experience what the Baton Rouge International School can offer your children. Now welcoming displaced students for short and long-term stability.
I knew I could get myself out of this. I just needed some hope. and some help.
I took the first step to recovery when I made the call.
If you're depressed, drinking, and using drugs, you may need help. And the Affordable Care Act guarantees coverage of substance abuse. Call the Addiction, Hope, and Helpline now for a free assessment.
I had problems just getting to sleep, drinking and using pills every night.
I feel like I'm losing control. I'm afraid I'll lose my job or even my family.
Are you losing hope? You can recover and get back on track. Call now for hope and help with proven, gentle recovery programs.
I never thought that I could be somebody who didn't drink and use drugs.
I have something to hold on to for strength. I'm in recovery, getting the help I need.
Call the Addiction, Hope, and Helpline now for a free assessment with someone who cares.
Call 800-383-8177. 800-383-8177.
Relief Window. Experience Relief Window.
When my wife and I started Relief Windows, what we were trying to do, what our goal was to give a quality job to a homeowner. Everybody's scared of contractors. We wanted to change the mold of what that is. Not showing up on time, not answering the phone, somebody running with your money. The reason why you should pick Relief Windows to do your renovation of your home, windows, doors, hardy plank, or siding, is because of the experience, quality service of our company. Service is everything we have. It's the foundation of our company. We're going to show up on time. We're going to do the job right. Over 60% of our customers is customer referral. We're a local company here in Baton Rouge, built in Baton Rouge, staying in Baton Rouge. Okay. The job's not done until you're happy and we're happy. It's built the old-fashioned way, with a handshake. Here at Relief Windows, it's an honor to be official window, door, and siding company of LSU Athletics, from one winning team to another.
Relief Windows.
This is an important medical announcement for anyone who has taken the chemotherapy drug Taxotere. If you or a loved one has developed alopecia or hair loss after taking the breast cancer drug Taxotere, you may be entitled to substantial compensation. While many chemotherapy drugs can cause temporary hair loss, Taxotere can cause permanent, irreversible loss of hair on the head, eyebrows, eyelashes, beard, and body. Call now for a free assessment of your case and potential money damages. The call is confidential and you may be eligible. You may not have been warned about the side effects of Taxotere. Your consultation is free. Call the Drug Watch hotline if you or a loved one has experienced permanent hair loss as a result of the chemotherapy drug Taxotere. But you must call now.
Call 800-794-0738. 800-794-0738.
Tigers Roar, remind you about the radio station WUBR. That's right, WUBR, an affiliate of CBS Sports Radio. They bring a lot of national stuff to the table, and then we mix it in with some local stuff, including Jordy Hultberg, Buddy Sanji, myself, Dave Scandaliato from Las Vegas. If you like to wager, you don't want to miss anything Dave's got going on. And it's all at WUBR, which you also get the Jim Rome Show from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. As he covers all the national topics. Jordy, tell us about your show in the Lafayette market.
Not only in Baton Rouge, but in Lafayette every day from 2 to 4 on 103.7 The Game, 103.7 FM. The Jordy Hultberg Show. Hope you'll tune it in.
All right. So, yeah, it's the summertime, and we like you said a little earlier, we're looking for things to talk about, albeit soccer or tennis or golf.
You're not into the World Cup?
No.
Not at all? No Ronaldo? The three, I know the United States not in it, but...
I just can't get into soccer. And in part because when you and I were youngsters, soccer was not an option. I mean,
I got involved because my girls.
Well,
I think every girl plays it at one, or boy plays it at one point in time before they, and that's partially the problem before they branch out and do other things. But I appreciate their skill level is. Their footwork and ball handling skills are just ridiculous.
Oh, I appreciate the talent and respect it. But like I said, when you and I were youngsters, we had Little League football, basketball, baseball, and then you went back to one of the other ones,
right.
or you went fishing down in Delacroix Island or something.
Yeah,
so
we didn't have soccer.
They didn't have it as an option. Perhaps if there was, maybe I'd have more of an interest. Now, both of my children played soccer when they were younger, but it never stuck.
Drew Brees says his kids are now hooked on soccer. They may be soccer players rather than football players. Need to recruit their kids.
You think?
Oh, Coach O, need to go recruit them.
Dad can afford the tuition.
Dad's invested in everything. Restaurants.
He has spread it around.
Now in clothing, Untuck It. Can I say that?
But I often wonder this. I mean, do you not get to a point where you have enough money?
He wants to make more.
Provide. I haven't had that problem.
And their children, and why?
Okay, whatever. Now, Jordy, you
mentioned.
Can
I be one of his children?
Yeah. Submit the paperwork. You mentioned LSU's basically shut down, but in the last month, some significant accomplishments in the world of track and field, which is not new to LSU having significant accomplishments
no
and outstanding track and field athletes. I mean, they've been some of the greatest in the world have come right through LSU. Aaliyah Hobbs, who's from New Orleans.
Top of the list.
Man, what this girl has done, a national champion in the 100-meter dash for LSU track and field, Aaliyah Hobbs.
Not only outdoor, but she won the indoor 60-meter dash. She is the track athlete of the year. She might be up for the Bowerman Award, which is the comparable of the Heisman Trophy and the Wooden Award. She's she's fast.
All right, I have a question for you, Jordy. When's the last time you ran 100 yards? Or 100 meters, I got to correct that, 100 meters.
I don't think I ever have. I used to have to run a half mile in the mile, and then when we would practice and do conditioning drills for basketball, we'd do line drills, or we'd run the 440, and we'd run stadium steps. That was fun in the middle of summer. Tiger Stadium steps.
It paid off. You guys won a lot of games. You accomplished a lot. But
when's the last time you ran 100
I don't know
meters?
I'm like you. I don't know if I ever ran it.
I don't think I was ever at. We never timed anything like that.
I don't remember timing anything.
We timed the quarter.
Baseball, obviously, we ran along the outfield fence a bunch.
And I was pretty good at the quarter. Till Rudy Macklin showed up. And could he pick them up and put them down?
But we do have the video clip in the rain. Why does track and field keep going to Portland, Oregon in the summer?
I asked Dennis Shaver that question.
What was his answer? I'm curious.
Why do they do it? He goes, that's a great question. I don't know, but we just have to go where they tell us to go.
Well,
we got to stop it where it's the rain capital of the America.
Well, here from New Orleans, Aaliyah Hobbs. This is not going to take real long, but in the rain, watch her win the 100-meter dash at the NCAA Championships.
Eugene, Oregon.
And meet record still held by Don Sewell from 29 seasons ago. Aaliyah Hobbs, though, the best in the country and basically unbeatable so far. She looked that way on Thursday, the fastest ever run at low altitude. And she ran 10:91 here.
She did, and she had a really fantastic start. That's what she has been working on. Her top-end speed is unlike anything I have seen in a lot of sprinters in collegiate lately, so she has got to get a good start from the gun.
She will start in lane number 5. Another good start for Hobbs. Oh, she's gone. It's already over, just like it was on Thursday. Aaliyah Hobbs, simply not beatable. Takes the victory. And in these conditions, 11:01, that's a great time.
That is a testament of how talented Aaliyah Hobbs is. These have been some of the best starts that I have seen her have all season long, and to run 11:01 in a hurricane is impressive.
They are going to miss her in Baton Rouge. under any conditions, it just doesn't matter. She is old reliable.
In the middle of your screen, in the yellow and purple bottoms, that start was what she has been waiting for, just like the preliminaries. And look at her front end running mechanics. Her hands are open, knees are lifted. She is flawless in the front end running mechanics. Very nice, relaxed. Even with all of this rain and all of this weather, her face is relaxed. You can see the skin moving up and down on her cheeks, and she has just been fantastic. Huge points for LS.
It was over 3 strides in.
We've all seen the blowouts in football, blowouts in basketball, blowouts in baseball. That was a track blowout. You made the comment when the video was running. I mean, there was like 3 strides between her and the second place finisher, that's a blowout. That's 49-0
for a 100-meter dash.
56-3. That's what that was. Would you agree?
That's a Secretariat Belmont 31-length win right there.
Yeah,
she's good.
So that was really
and
good.
Dennis Shaver paid her. He said. And he's very accurate because Dennis Shavers, he first came in as an assistant to Pat Henry. Pat Henry left, became the head coach at Texas A&M. He took over and has been there a long, long time. And they have had some incredible sprinters throughout the course of that time. And he ranks her right up there at the very top with Kimberlyn Duncan and some of the others. She is some kind of good.
No question
about that. That could be an Olympic champion one day right there.
Oh, no question.
Congratulations to Aaliyah
Anyway,
Hobbs.
we wanted to give a shout out. She's from New Orleans, obviously. Tigers, Royal, Baton Rouge, Lafayette, and New Orleans. And as I mentioned, we will have the Pelican Sports post-game show this fall with Buddy Sanji and myself. All begins on a Sunday night when they play the Miami Hurricanes. I wonder if that banner's going back up.
That game, and I know we'll delve into it, but that game has so much significance. It is a table setter for everything. Because if you win it and look impressive in doing so, then you silence all the critics. And everybody's euphoric. Everybody's looking forward to the season ahead. If you lose it, oh my goodness, the doomsayers are coming out of the woodwork. So it's a very, very significant game.
And on tonight's program, we are going to get into the LSU football schedule with a very brief early preview. We'll do some of that. But right now, we're going to take a break. And when we come back, Mike Scarborough of TigerBait.com. The recruiting never ends. We'll hit a few quick topics with Mike right after this pause on Tigers Roar. Pelican Sports TV. Stay with us.
Hi, I'm Jordy Helper for Tremonti's Meat and Seafood Market at 12451 Old Jefferson Highway. Chairman's Reserve steaks, their pork, their chicken, their seafood, top of the line. Primo barbecue pits, Icy Tech coolers. They can go anywhere and cater anything for you. Go to 751-7665 to call Tremonti's Meat and Seafood Market, where good meat ain't cheap and cheap meat ain't good. Tremonti's Meat and Seafood Market.
Are you ready for this year's formal events? Weddings, homecoming, Mardi Gras, prom, pageants. Debbie's Bridal is having an inventory blowout sale. Don't be left out. Prices range from 20% off to 80% off. Happening now. Debbie's Bridal, Burnside in Gonzales.
Attention. Do you have chronic back pain, knee pain, or arthritis? If you have Medicare or private insurance like Aetna, United Healthcare, Humana, or Blue Cross, you may qualify for a safe, drug-free remedy for your everyday back and knee pain. But you must call now. The call and consultation are free, and you may be eligible for a pain-relieving back or knee brace at little or no cost to you. These pain relief braces are ideal for back pain, arthritis, sciatica, leg pain, knee pain, and other painful conditions that make life difficult. Don't suffer needlessly. Our associates will work directly with Medicare or your insurance company for free. Your knee or back brace will be delivered directly to your door. Imagine playing with your grandkids or enjoying tennis or golf again. Call the National Knee and Back Brace Center to qualify for your Medicare or insurance-covered knee or back brace.
Call 800-560-3392, 800-560-3392.
It's a beautiful day for baseball. Take me out to a Hooters. Take me out to the game. Give me some wings and a frosty brew, a seat by the tube and a buddy or two.
Step up to our plate. Bring the team to Hooters and get 40 free boneless wings. Offer applies to teams of 6 or more in uniform.
There's no better place to catch the game. It's baseball time at Hooters.
It's time to find out the truth about health insurance.
True or false? I can't get health insurance because I missed the open enrollment period. False.
If you had a life change such as moving, getting married, having a child, or a job loss, you are eligible to buy a new policy.
I don't have a life-changing event, so I can't get health insurance. False.
You can purchase affordable short-term policies even if it's not open enrollment.
I have to spend hours shopping around for an insurance policy that's right for me. False.
Call Healthcare will connect you with licensed agents that do the work for you, comparing hundreds of options, making sure you get a policy that fits all your needs at the best price.
Call now and we'll connect you to a licensed agent that will answer all your questions. The call and the service are free, so what are you waiting for?
Call Healthcare, getting the coverage you need at a price you can afford. Call now. Representatives are standing by to assist you.
Hi, I am Dr. Farrell Frugier Jr., and I am a general dentist at Frugier Family Dentistry. I was born and raised in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. I went to Catholic High School, LSU, and LSU School of Dentistry in New Orleans, where I received my DDS degree in 1986. I always have and will continue to be committed to continuing my education, to invest in technology which makes the diagnosis and delivery of dentistry more thorough, more comfortable, and more aesthetically pleasing. In our practice, we are here to serve the patients. We want to improve their quality of life and to develop relationships with our patients. In dentistry, we have a chance to impact lives on a daily basis, not just by doing dentistry, but by getting to know them and being a part of their life. We also believe in giving back to our community. So every year, we give back to the Greater Baton Rouge Food Bank, Toys for Tots, and Mary Bird Perkins Cancer Center. Please stop by and visit our office. We would love to take care of you and your family.
For Total Home Pest Control, who are you going to call?
Call the Bugman, 923-BUGS.
For total pest control for your home or business, call the original Salvat.
Call the Bugman today, 923-BUGS.
With Tigers Roar right now, as we do each and every week. We're joined by Mike Scarborough of TigerBait.com. Mike, good evening. How are you?
Hey, good to be with you guys.
Hi, Michael.
Mike, we know recruiting never stops, and some days and weeks you get a little info in one direction or the other. It's ongoing, but you guys at TigerBait.com are on top of everything.
Yeah, you know, it's a busy time of year. It's you got camp season, and that'll run, you know, all through June, and a little bit still lingers in July. But now you got SEC football media days early in July, and then assuming once we get the schedule from Michael Bonnet that LSU football practice
right.
be starting a few days before the 1st of August like last year, and it's here before you know it.
Michael, I'm always curious. LSU's trying to put together a very strong 2019 recruiting class, but at the same time, how much emphasis do they spend on the 2020 and the 2021 class, all in the same mix as they're trying to finalize this current crop?
Yeah, it's you know, I don't want to say that 2020 is even more of an emphasis than 2019, but in some ways it is, because you've got to evaluate these kids. Sometimes there can even be a little bit of gamesmanship of wanting to be one of the first to offer major prospects. You know, you'll have other schools that will come in state and try and prod LSU into extending an offer, knowing that if they do, you know, that they can goad them into maybe taking a kid that's not quite up to LSU standards. But yeah, it's an important time of year, and that's why camps are important. And the spring evaluation period is important. But you also have to finish off 2019, and I mean it's a big juggle, because then you know, while you're evaluating at camp, you're also waiting to see what your true freshman class looks like.
Right.
what attrition you might still have happen,
Right.
or you even get into the fall semester,
And then you have
and see what those kids do on the field.
And then you have to look ahead. Who projects to be a junior that's going to leave to go to the NFL? How devoid does that make us at that position? And then you have to start setting. So it's you got to be on top of this thing at all times.
Yeah. I mean, because we're sitting here, Burrow changes so many things for LSU at the quarterback spot, and while right now it seems as though you're not really hearing a whole lot of concrete info that any of the other quarterbacks are going to transfer out, but it can still happen all the way up till the first day of class in August. You still have to have a quarterback in this class, but it's also like, okay, you're low in numbers at corner. Do they go 4 there? Could they go 3 at running back? Even though you have Burrow, you still need a quarterback. And then and who might that be?
Right.
Running backs, wide receivers. Numbers are kind of looking. If you want to get the tight end more involved in the future, now that Ensminger's the offensive coordinator, you're about to be some numbers there behind. So a lot of stuff that they have to juggle in all the classes and the current roster.
Take me back, Mike, a few years ago to one of the top players on this year's team. I think he's going to be spectacular, and that was Devin White. Remember, he was a running back, and he thought he was going to be a running back in college, but because of the limited numbers that LSU had at linebacker, he kind of took one for the team, and I think it behooved him greatly. But what do you remember about Devin White coming out of high school?
Well, and you know what? He was one of those kids that was amiable to the move. He wasn't one that was just like, I'm not, I'm a running back only, and it was a great move for him. But let's say, because of LSU's current running back situation, if Devin White didn't have the start at linebacker,
great point,
like he's had,
Uh-huh.
he would seriously be an option that you would say, well, let's move Devin White to running back. But now he's,
I think one of the best moves.
He's the best player on the team.
Yeah, I mean, you look at his move from offense to defense, and I remember Josh Reed moving from running back to wide receiver. Some of these position changes have worked out gold for LSU.
Yeah, I mean, it's funny you say that because it's like I'm at the drugstore the other day, and there's the Athlons and the Lindys, of course, and there's Devin White on both covers.
Yep.
And then I'm looking at it, and of course, I didn't have my cheater glasses on, but I was able to see $9.95 price tag on those things.
They have him as Sports Illustrated has him as the 75th best player in college football. That's crazy. He's much better than that.
Oh yeah.
Much better. Anyway,
he's LSU's MVP, and Greedy Williams is right behind him on defense.
Yeah.
So. And those are two guys that you don't expect to have back for next season.
That's right.
You talk about running backs moving to wide receiver.
Mm-hmm.
I remember back in the day when you were on the campus and all of a sudden Herman Fontenot and Eric Martin became wide receivers because they had a kid named Dalton Hilliard that showed up.
That worked out pretty good.
That's why Fontenot was number 40, Martin was 41 because they were tailbacks until Hilliard got on campus.
Martin was pretty good on the hardwood too. He's pretty good athlete.
You can do a lot of those kind of things back then because you didn't have an 85 scholarship limit.
That's right.
No question. Right. Hey, Mike, as we said, it's the days of summer, but SEC Media Days are around the corner. Football will be cranking up statewide, and most importantly, it never stops for LSU. Tell people how they can subscribe to TigerBait.com.
That's it. Go to TigerBait.com. Got a lot of our usual summer features, recruiting, which never stops, basketball recruiting, football, big features that Brian Lazar puts together. If you're an LSU fan, check us out at TigerBait.com. We think you'll really enjoy the product.
Hey, Mike, as always, we enjoy visiting. We'll do it again soon.
All right, looking forward to it. Thanks.
All right.
Yeah, you mentioned SEC Media Days, and I'm trying to think. Every year there seems to be a storyline, and I don't know what it's going to be this year other than maybe the quarterback position. What's Nick Saban? Who's going to be your starting quarterback? Ed Orgeron, who's going to be your starting quarterback? And I'm sure the response will be candid and enthusiastic.
Well, speaking of SEC Media Days, they have been put together. It's all scheduled out, and it's moving to Atlanta this year.
Good.
They take 4 days. They go that Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Ed Orgeron is on the docket for the very first day. Coach Stoops, Coach Orgeron, and Jimbo Fisher will crank it up that first day. And I've always wondered. I got to call Herb Vincent off the record. I've always wondered how they schedule this. It's not by East and West. It's not by a record from last year. I think they throw it in a hat and pull it out,
Can
and
I
then
tell
they schedule. They don't want what they view to be 2 of the biggest names on the same day.
You see that Thursday, July 19th? You see who's at the bottom, Derek Mason?
Yeah.
You'll hear a pin drop. Everybody will be gone, out of town, leaving.
And keep in mind, it's in Atlanta now, not Birmingham.
So easy flights.
So SEC
everywhere.
Media Day will be full force. And, of course, Mike Scarborough at TigerBait.com, they'll cover that. We'll cover it here locally on radio. And, of course, we'll have tons of those interviews for you on Tigers Roar when we get to that point. Speaking of LSU football, we're going to take a break. And when we come back, we're going to take an early look at the upcoming schedule. The toughest schedule on paper that LSU has ever had to face, in my opinion. We'll look about that and make a few comments right after this pause on Tigers Roar, Pelican Sports TV, Baton Rouge, Lafayette, New Orleans. Stay with us.
No one can stop me when I taste the feeling. Nothing could ever bring me down. Nothing could ever bring me down. Taste the feeling.
This is an important medical announcement for anyone who has taken the chemotherapy drug Taxotere. If you or a loved one has developed alopecia or hair loss after taking the breast cancer drug Taxotere, you may be entitled to substantial compensation. While many chemotherapy drugs can cause temporary hair loss, Taxotere can cause permanent, irreversible loss of hair on the head, eyebrows, eyelashes, beard, and body. Call now for a free assessment of your case and potential money damages. The call is confidential and you may be eligible. You may not have been warned about the side effects of Taxotere. Your consultation is free. Call the Drug Watch hotline if you or a loved one has experienced permanent hair loss as a result of the chemotherapy drug Taxotere. But you must call now.
Call 800-794-0738. 800-794-0738.
Woodburners, serving South Louisiana since 1977, is a family-owned and operated company with over 30 years of experience. They're the fireplace experts, providing upscale products at an affordable price. Fireplaces, glass doors, wood stoves and stove chimneys, mantles, screens, gas logs, and tool sets. Visit online at woodburnersinc.com. Call 225-752-2590 or stop by 10510 Airline Highway in Baton Rouge.
Creel Tree Service is a licensed and insured tree service providing tree and stump removal, topping, trimming, cabling, pruning, and fertilizing. We have free stump removal with takedowns, free estimates, affordable rates, and senior citizens discounts. Call 774-TREE. That's 774-8733. Get your yard ready for the warmer weather. If it deals with a tree, call me, Creel Tree Service, 774-8733. That's 774-TREE.
Are you ready for this year's formal events? Weddings, homecoming, Mardi Gras, prom, pageants. Debbie's Bridal is having an inventory blowout sale. Don't be left out. Prices range from 20% off to 80% off. Happening now. Debbie's Bridal, Burnside in Gonzales.
Jordy, LSU football is pretty much full-time, 365, 24/7, however you want to say it.
Multi-million-dollar enterprise.
Yeah.
Multi-million.
Multis. Not as big as some places, but very big.
It's up there.
Let's say it that way. Yeah, I did see somebody did a poll about the greatest tailgate places, and not surprisingly, LSU is number one on that. You can see that's actually at the Pelican Broadcasting Facebook page if you wanted to check it out. Jordy, every year everybody can't wait for football season to get here. Then all of a sudden Christmas time's here, and you're like, where'd the football season
Everybody
go?
always asks me that. Can you wait? I said, yeah, I can wait. Yeah. When it's here, it's here.
Well, we got to take a brief early preview. The first 4 games on the LSU schedule. Jordy made mention a little bit earlier that opener on a Sunday night with the Miami Hurricanes over in Arlington. That's Labor Day weekend. A lot of folks don't have to work that Monday. It's going to be important for so many reasons, as you pointed out, Jordy.
A top-ranked team, a team that was undefeated heading down the stretch. Mark Richt, the head coach, they expect some really good things. You know, if it's on ABC on the opening kickoff weekend, it's a big, big game, and this is the trendsetter for the year. I mean, you get off to it. Just remember that 2011 season when LSU had to play Oregon in that same stadium, and the trepidation there. Oregon was a team that played in the national championship game the season before, and Mariota was back, and all those players, and LSU that was the coming out party of Tyrann Mathieu, and how that set the stage for an incredible season. This has the same potential going one way or the other.
And then the following week, the Southeastern Lions, they haven't played in a half of a century. They did play LSU a few times back in the 40s and 50s, but the Lions will come in, get their paycheck. They've got a new coach in Frank Selfo, and they'll come in on a Saturday night for the home opener.
What is that paycheck, I wonder?
I don't know the answer to that. We'll find out before they play.
Their travel expenses are very limited. They can drive in the day of and go back.
I'll tell you that, they have trouble drawing fans at Strawberry Stadium. There's no question about that. I'm curious to see how many will come up to Baton Rouge to watch the Lions play in Tiger Stadium. We'll just have to wait and see. Then it starts getting
Gino
tough.
Marino will be there, I can tell you that.
Yeah, the SEC the following Saturday, already announced as a 2:30 game on CBS. On the Plains against the Auburn Tigers. They're going to beat Southeastern.
Yep.
If they can beat Miami, they go into Auburn 2-0 with a lot of confidence. If they lose to Miami, they're going to be 1-1, and then who knows? But that's going to be the SEC opener, third game.
Auburn's got Stidham back. They've got motivation for blowing that 20-zip lead that they had in Tiger Stadium on an early Saturday afternoon, and that's going to be. And look, I've said it many, many times. That is, I think, the loudest venue I've ever been in. When they're rocking and rolling, that's something.
And whether you like him or not, Gus Malzahn's a pretty darn good coach.
Pretty darn good coach.
He gets vilified sometimes, but look at the record. And then the fourth game of the season for the Tigers, Skip Holtz's Louisiana Tech Bulldogs, a good team, sends guys to the NFL every year. Here's the thing. The win total for LSU out of Las Vegas is 7. The win total for Louisiana Tech is 7. Now, albeit they play in Conference USA, the schedule's not near as tight.
Right.
LSU's got the toughest schedule in America.
Let me tell you.
But the Bulldogs of Louisiana Tech will be tough. I know LSU will beat Southeastern. I'm pretty sure they'll beat Tech, but if they don't have a good night, it could be Troy all over again, and the Louisiana Tech Bulldogs are capable of winning that game.
If you go out of that first quadrant, if you come out of that thing 3-1, you count your blessings, and you're off to a great, great season.
And you don't want the one to be Auburn.
Well,
because you want to win the conference
games.
want
to win the conference games.
But you're right. 3-1 would be a good thing.
Yeah.
Well, then we roll into the middle third of the schedule, and TV Time's not announced on this yet. Up to Ole Miss, Matt Lucas had the interim tag removed from his title, and he was successful last year in the interim role with the cloud hanging over there.
I am so tired of at Florida. I am so tired of that.
That'll be the following week at Florida, that whole hurricane
and
thing.
Mullen.
The back-to-back years, and the Gators are expected to be good. Mullen has relocated from Starkville to Gainesville, so that's going to be a tough one.
We hope that Saturday, October 13th is I hope it's a CBS game. That means it's noteworthy, it's important, it's significant. The Bulldogs come to town. We don't know who their starting quarterback's going to be because they have a great one in Fromm, and they recruited the best quarterback prospect in the country in field, so we'll see what happens there.
Yeah, well, Georgia lost the national championship last year. We all know that story. Kirby Smart has done a super job over there. Then you got Mississippi State coming into Baton Rouge. Their new coach is excited. They got Nick Fitzgerald back as a quarterback, and they beat LSU by 30 last year.
Yeah.
Just keep that part in mind. And then we go to the final portion of the schedule. Yes, that first Saturday in November, it's Alabama coming to Baton Rouge. Can they stop that streak, Jordy, of Bama wins?
Every streak comes to an end, eventually.
Yeah.
Eventually. So is this the time? We'll see.
Of course, then they'll head up to Arkansas. There is an open date between Mississippi State and Bama. That's a pet peeve of yours.
Yeah,
but
but anyway.
Bama and LSU are both off the week before the LSU-Alabama game, as that has been for several years.
Bama plays LSU better in Tiger Stadium than they do in Tuscaloosa. It's a weird series. Weird series.
After Alabama, they got to go up to Arkansas.
Don't know much about them.
New coach up there with Chad Morris.
He's going to be good.
They're going to throw the ball all over the place. Then an easy win, like Southeastern, they will beat Rice. The over-under total on Rice is 3, so LSU should get that one the week after Arkansas.
And the other unknown.
Thanksgiving week, it's not on Thanksgiving night. It is on that Saturday of Thanksgiving week. The Texas A&M Aggies on the road.
I got to believe Jimbo's going to make them better. I've got to believe he's going to make them a better ball club. Those are the two unknowns, Arkansas and A&M, and you know that. Look,
and here's the thing about A&M, and it was the knock on Sumlin. Their last portion of the schedule has hurt them. They would be 7-1, 8-0, 6-2, and then they would take a swan dive, and LSU benefited from that a little bit. If Fisher can erase that stigma, you know, a lot to happen between now and November 24. But I, like you and most people, expect A&M to be better.
I agree. I think the pivotal game in that whole scenario is Mississippi State.
Okay.
You get them at home. This is a team that beats you by 30. They have their quarterback coming back. You're supposed to be better than Ole Miss and Mississippi State. You're LSU. You're supposed to be better than them. Got to beat them.
Yeah,
got to beat them at home.
You got to win both of those games. No question about that. As I had mentioned, there will be a Pelican Sports post-game show that's simulcast on TV and radio with reports from the stadium, all that good stuff, as we've done for many, many years. It'll roll into the 12th year here on Pelican Sports TV. So looking forward to that football season as we roll through these dog days of summer. We'll take a break, come back, got a little New Orleans Saints news for you. All of that and much more when we continue with Tigers Roar. Stay with us.
No one can stop me when I taste the feeling. Nothing could ever bring me down. Nothing could ever bring me down. Taste the feeling.
Woodburners, serving South Louisiana since 1977, is a family-owned and operated company with over 30 years of experience. They're the fireplace experts, providing upscale products at an affordable price. Fireplaces, glass doors, wood stoves and stove chimneys, mantles, screens, gas logs, and tool sets. Visit online at woodburnersinc.com. Call 225-752-2590 or stop by 10510 Airline Highway in Baton Rouge.
This is an important medical announcement for anyone who has taken the chemotherapy drug Taxotere. If you or a loved one has developed alopecia or hair loss after taking the breast cancer drug Taxotere, you may be entitled to substantial compensation. While many chemotherapy drugs can cause temporary hair loss, Taxotere can cause permanent, irreversible loss of hair on the head, eyebrows, eyelashes, beard, and body. Call now for a free assessment of your case and potential money damages. The call is confidential and you may be eligible. You may not have been warned about the side effects of Taxotere. Your consultation is free. Call the Drug Watch hotline if you or a loved one has experienced permanent hair loss as a result of the chemotherapy drug Taxotere. But you must call now.
Call 800-794-0738. 800-794-0738.
Hi, I am Dr. Farrell Frugier Jr., and I am a general dentist at Frugier Family Dentistry. I was born and raised in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. I went to Catholic High School, LSU, and LSU School of Dentistry in New Orleans, where I received my DDS degree in 1986. I always have and will continue to be committed to continuing my education, to invest in technology which makes the diagnosis and delivery of dentistry more thorough, more comfortable, and more aesthetically pleasing. In our practice, we are here to serve the patients. We want to improve their quality of life and to develop relationships with our patients. In dentistry, we have a chance to impact lives on a daily basis, not just by doing dentistry, but by getting to know them and being a part of their life. We also believe in giving back to our community. So every year, we give back to the Greater Baton Rouge Food Bank, Toys for Tots, and Mary Bird Perkins Cancer Center. Please stop by and visit our office. We would love to take care of you and your family.
For Total Home Pest Control, who are you going to call?
Call the Bug Man, 923-BUGS.
For total pest control for your home or business, call the original Salvant.
Call the Bug Man today, 923-BUGS.
We continue with Tigers Roar. Another thing that happens in the summertime, you find out about Hall of Fames and stuff. And, of course, the New Orleans Saints have their own New Orleans Saints Hall of Fame, which is work of a lot of good people, and lots of good things happen. And they made an announcement a couple of weeks ago about two guys that will go into the New Orleans Saints Hall of Fame, two special guys that were key parts of a Super Bowl championship, Lance Moore and Pierre Thomas. And here's another factoid that's very interesting, Jordy.
Okay.
Both of those guys, Lance Moore, Pierre Thomas, undrafted free agents.
Yep. Lance Moore started in Cleveland, left, came to the Saints, got cut, re-signed, and how important was he in that Super Bowl run?
And Pierre Thomas actually played in the Sugar Bowl for Illinois against LSU back in the day.
Yep.
That's two guys that will never be in the Pro Football Hall of Fame, but undrafted free agent to the New Orleans Saints Hall of Fame.
You mentioned Pierre Thomas to me, I think of one thing, screen pass. He perfected that thing, and Sean
Payton
Payton
get him to Baton Rouge and sit down with.
Sean Payton utilized that and devised a game plan to get the ball to him. And those were two guys, as you mentioned, undrafted, but continued to work. And Lance Moore was clutch in the slot, and Pierre Thomas, versatile, man, versatile.
Can we get Pierre Thomas to sit down with Coach O and Steve Ensminger and draw up a screenplay on a whiteboard or something?
How good was he in that, huh? How good was he?
No question about that. Yeah, and that's going to be very special for them guys. Two really good guys off the field, too. Both were nominated for the Walter Payton Man of the Year Award, community involvement. I mean, it's the whole picture with both of those guys.
But doesn't that sum up the Saints? I mean, they find hidden gems here and there. You know, how many late draft picks end up becoming really, really long-time veteran, productive players. And those two right there, they just they find them, they develop them, and they help them win a Super Bowl.
And we got a little video clip here of Sean Payton, who was their coach when they won the Super Bowl, and then the Joe Gimelli Fleur-de-Lis Award winner as well, which will go into the Hall of Fame. It's a different category. Here's that clip from New Orleans.
Next to two players and then an individual I'm going to introduce first, Michael Hebert. Every picture you see on these walls, every picture that you get a glimpse of in the Hall of Fame. He's been capturing our moments for well over 22 years. He's also just as involved and served in a vice president capacity with the Hall of Fame, and it's only fitting that he is coming into this Hall of Fame at the same time two of our great players are coming in. The thing I would say about both Lance and Pierre is, I said this to Drew walking in, man, these guys they're like identical players at different positions. You're going to hear the same things from me. You're going to hear reliability, smart. You're going to hear tough. You're going to hear clutch. You're going to hear all like the epitome of what we were looking for as we began to build in 06 a playoff team, and then later in 2009 a Super Bowl team. The role might change, but he too, just like Lance, was tremendously gifted, not only physically but with his mind. He was an exceptional thinker. Rarely did he do something on the football field that you didn't expect him to do. And once again, when you're the quarterback, those are like deep breaths.
Charles Grant had a camp in Atlanta before the 2009 season. He said, "We are going to win a Super Bowl this year." And I'm not sure that I really believed him, but at that moment I was like, got a chance, you know, and to actually do it, it's awesome.
But just to score the first touchdown, even though we kicked a lot of field goals, just to score the first touchdown, that's a blessing. That's something I would never forget. And it was off a screenplay, something I'm known for. And just to dive in, just that feeling after I scored, I just looked up and just thank God for it.
Also, speaking of the New Orleans Saints, we know Mark Ingram got the 4-game suspension, and when asked about that during minicamp a while back, he just dodged the question, as many people expected him to.
People thought maybe he was holding out of OTAs because of a contract, sending a message. He said, no, that's not the case at all. And they signed a running back, and I can't remember his name.
Terrence West. And that brings up Alvin Kamara, Rookie of the Year. One of the reasons Butch Jones is no longer at Tennessee, because he wouldn't put this guy on the field. But now the question is, what role changes, what becomes of Alvin Kamara as they'll roll into them first 4 games without Mark Ingram. During that Cleveland game, that'll be the public announcement and celebration of Lance Moore and Pierre Thomas during the Cleveland game.
Just like LSU, you come out of that 3-1, you're in good shape. And the 1, well, you want to beat Atlanta, and you always play well there. But they got a chance to be 4-0 coming out of that group.
Yeah, first 2 at home. Tampa Bay's always Tampa Bay. Cleveland's awful, so maybe you can start with 2 wins at home. But Alvin Kamara was asked about, does his role change? What's his plan? What does he expect to have happen? His Rookie of the Year out of Tennessee, Alvin Kamara.
Yeah, I mean, like you said, it's year 2, so it's just finding new ways to be effective. Just fine-tuning the little things in my game that, maybe year 1 where everything was going fast, now it's slowed down to where I can really kind of slow down and process and think about what's really going on and see everything for what it is. So, I mean, it's just constant progress. There's a lot. I mean, last year I was learning on the fly, so it was still a lot of thinking in my game last year. It may not have looked like it, but there was a lot of things I had to really think about. But now, year 2, even being in minicamp and OTAs and minicamp right now, a lot of things have slowed down for me. So it's not as much thinking that I could just play, just go out there and play. Yeah, just like what I was talking about. Where last year I probably would have been thinking about where exactly to align and my exact route. Now it's like I know where to align, I know what the route is, and it's like let me just go out there when it says hut. I'm going and I'm playing the ball. I'm just playing football instead of thinking before I, move. Yeah.
What do you attribute that to?
It's just something just mentally in me, like, it's just like that pride of like knowing what to do. But like I said, first year, knowing what to do came with some stumbles. Like it was always like a little thought, like, all right, I know that's what I got, but am I sure? And now it's like I'm sure that's what I got.
Curious how Butch Jones didn't see the talent in that kid. That's
why
mind-boggling.
why he's watching film at Alabama now, not coaching at Tennessee.
Mind-boggling.
Hey, and also, we always big on high school sports here at the Pelican, and high school football coaches, they're all at the beach or taking it easy now. It's their time of the year to do that, because I have many good friends who are coaches, a couple of family members, so I know they're all getting away, but before we know it, the high school football will be cranking up, and of course, that's the recruits. We talk about the LSU recruiting. Well, that's the future of LSU and other college football teams. So don't forget all the high school people. In fact, many of the websites and stuff are already starting with some high school previews of different teams and whatnot.
I've seen high school kids up early, getting on the field with coaching staffs and doing the drills and all that.
Like you said, they can't win. They can't win the district title in June and July, but they could lose it, especially if somebody's outworking them.
Doesn't everybody get in the playoffs?
Oh, don't start.
Doesn't everybody?
Oh,
those two-win teams get in?
Oh,
Anyway.
Anyway, so as we roll through these days of summer, of course, SEC Media Days are around the corner. That's really the next big thing, but recruiting does happen at all the time, and you never know when a story pops up there about a future commitment. You and Mike talked earlier about 2020 and 2021.
The best thing to happen now is to never hear of an LSU athlete at all. Because only thing you hear now are bad things.
Yeah, you don't want anybody to do something at midnight or.
Let's keep out of the headlines, keep out of the news, and report to camp when the time comes.
Well, and we don't want any other schools to go through that either. But invariably, a story or two will surface about a LSU or Louisiana school or an SEC or Conference USA, the SWAC, whatever. So, let's just hope everybody keeps on the straight and narrow there.
Do the right thing, guys. Do the right thing, girls.
Plenty of other good stuff. Coach Palmineri involved with Team USA Baseball and got some Tigers on that team. And other than that, we're just rolling through the summer. Like Jordy said, it's soccer, World Cup, it's tennis, Wimbledon coming up. The U.S. Open with Phil Mickelson hitting the moving ball. I mean, there's just all kind of stuff. Not about LSU and LSU football happening.
You think Phil was trying to send a message to the USGA on that one?
Phil's pretty slick, and he's been around. I don't know if he figured all that out and calculated all that out that quick.
I think he was
Unless he
I think
thought
he
of
snapped.
that. I think he snapped.
Yeah.
I think he snapped and
said,
then
I'll never win this tournament. I'll never win it ever.
But I don't, unless he sat there the night before with a glass of wine and said, if that happens, I might just start up something.
No, he snapped.
I agree with you. I think he
cracked
snapped,
and he popped.
And that was that. All right, don't forget WUBR, the radio station, 9:10 a.m., smartphones, internet, tablets, mobile devices. We will have a Pelican Sports post-game show on both TV and radio this fall. Don't forget the Bud Man, Buddy Sanji. He will be involved extensively with that. So don't forget to like us on Facebook. Facebook page is Pelican Broadcasting. Twitter account is @Pelican Sports. Of course, we have our YouTube page. YouTube.com/Pelican Broadcast on our channel. You can subscribe to it, or you can just check it out whenever you're tooling around. You may find Tigers Roar. You may find some other stuff that we're doing. Might have some stuff you really like. Hooters, hint, hint. I'll just throw that out there. So anyway, Jordy, let's try to stay cool in the hot days of summer here.
Absolutely. Heading to the beach, man. See y'all later.
Hey, it takes a lot of people to put this show together. We appreciate all those people at Pelican Broadcast. And most importantly, thank you for watching Tigers Roar and spreading the roar.
It's time to find out the truth about health insurance.
True or false? I can't get health insurance because I missed the open enrollment period. False.
If you had a life change such as moving, getting married, having a child, or a job loss, you are eligible to buy a new policy.
I don't have a life-changing event, so I can't get health insurance. False.
You can purchase affordable short-term policies even if it's not open enrollment.
I have to spend hours shopping around for an insurance policy that's right for me. False.
Call Healthcare will connect you with licensed agents that do the work for you, comparing hundreds of options, making sure you get a policy that fits all your needs at the best price.
Call now and we'll connect you to a licensed agent that will answer all your questions. The call and the service are free, so what are you waiting for?
Call Healthcare, getting the coverage you need at a price you can afford. Call now. Representatives are standing by to assist you.